You will not regret working with him or getting to know him. There are so many good, positive qualities about him. I'm very protective of him in a way because I don't like it when people say negative things about him. He doesn't align himself with demons or devils or any negative energy like that or in any connection to hell. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melinda. I'm the Mystic Witch and you're watching Mystic Magic series. We're going to talk about a very special person, a very special deity, someone who's very close to me. Before I start, welcome. Thank you so much for watching and clicking on this video if you're new, and thank you so much for giving this video a chance in the topic about Horus. Yes, we're going to talk about the ancient Egyptian god Horus. Now, before I start, this is just my personal opinion and based on my own personal psychic experiences of Horus. There are some things that I will say here that are biased opinions, but also at the same time, you can take it or leave it. I'm not sitting here telling you that you have to work with him, but I will say that he's fantastic and he's very safe and he's a wonderful deity to get advice and guidance, and he's fun. He's really a great person. There's been a lot of change and transformation throughout my whole channel and throughout my brand. I've been working really hard in my spells and in my personal work of myself and as a person, as a spiritual being, having a human experience. There is so much growth happening in everyone, and in my personal experience, I'm learning how to be more professional as a content creator and how to keep my life private. You could call it a New Year's resolution, something that I'm personally working towards, something that I've been doing for quite some time, for a little while now, and taking my brand to a whole other level. And with that being said, I do have new merch on my website. I am so excited about this new merch. I'm so proud of this. I'm so thrilled and so grateful for this opportunity to be able to create something that really feels personable and powerful to me. I'm very happy to announce the official Divine Light Warrior merch is now available for purchase. Through the ups and the downs, we continue to survive, thrive, and shine by spreading the message of truth guided by love, courage, and intuition. And because I appreciate all of your love and your continual support through the years, as a big thank you, I was inspired to create something that we can all enjoy together. Every piece was created with the highest intentions to outshine and proudly represent the brave light warrior that you are. Everything from hoodies, t-shirts, joggers, leggings, totes, hats, and more are up for grabs with a choice of different colors and sizes for both men and women. And because I love my members, you get an exclusive discount code used at checkout on every purchase at Spring's store. Don't forget to tag me on IG of your light warrior flex and I'll feature you on my post and IG story. I couldn't have gotten here without you, and I hope you enjoyed the Divine merch as much as I do. Thank you all so much again. Love and light, and now back to the video. So guys, if you like my merch and you want to get yourself your own, make sure you go to lastfrenchmedium.com, or you can also go to my merch store that is connected to my YouTube channel. So guys, we're going to go ahead and start talking about Horus. First off, I also have to say, I love this drink so much. It's sour pink lemonade by Ghost, and I love this stuff. I'm not sponsored. It would be so cool if I was. I would totally take it. I am addicted. It's 0 sugar and it doesn't give me the jitters like other energy drinks. And for me, because I have a heart murmur, I get really bad jitters. I do enjoy an energy drink every once in a while, and I actually prefer drinking these when I'm filming because I don't want like yellow teeth from coffee. Just wanted to say as a big shout out to Ghost. I love you guys. Thank you so much for making awesome products. They have the Bubblicious and I am hooked, but I'm so sad because they basically only sell it every once in a while. I'm not sponsored. I just am addicted to this. So whenever anyone's wondering, what am I drinking? I'm drinking this all the time when I'm filming. Anyways, back to the segment. I really want to share my experience of Horus. And I know this is kind of late because I've been working with him for quite some time, but the truth is, spirits, when you're working with a deity, they all have their own personalities, okay? And so the personality that I've grown to learn about Horus is a person who is, how do I describe him? He's very straightforward. That's one of the biggest things that I really sincerely appreciate about Horus. A lot of people wonder, is Horus actually real? Yes, Horus is real. Now, a lot of people confuse Horus and connect him somehow with Ra, the sun god Ra. They are actually very separate deities. They are not linked together. Now, again, some people may argue this, but this is what I've learned from both Ra and from Horus. So Horus is his own person. He's his own entity, his own personality. his own person. Horus also is not connected to the Illuminati. Horus is absolutely not connected to the Illuminati in any way. In fact, the eye of Horus was all about the evil eye. They're very similar to that context. One seeing all things, which is very similar to the eye of Ra, the eye of Horus. Very connected, but they pretty much are separate deities. I have this fresh memory, and it was my first impression of him. When I first met Horus, it was during a time, it was about a year, 2 years ago. And when I first encountered him, it was in this golden-like palace type of environment. It was very beautiful. There was like these flame type of pillars there. Thank you. Horus just told me. They're like flame pillars, and there was these flames all over the place. He began to circle around me, as most of these deities do every once in a while. It's always the guys, and I think they do it just to kind of intimidate me or something, or it's because they're trying to look at my ass. I don't know, probably both. Circled around me. So I asked him questions, what is it necessarily that you do? What are your morals? What are your code of ethics? I asked him personal questions, but some basic ones at the same time to kind of get a vibe about who he is. I will say that the first time I met him, I was mesmerized. He was truly beautiful, as he always is, and he's extremely powerful. So the energy that I feel whenever I'm around him is it makes me kind of dizzy, but he always gives me hot flashes because from what I can remember, he's a fire sign, and I believe he's an Aries as well. I could be wrong. I believe he's an Aries. When you get to experience him, when you get to talk to him, you will be very entranced by the amount of wisdom and calmness and serenity, but also power. Okay, so a lot of people usually think that these positive deities or neutral deities do not have the same amount of power as devils or demons that a lot of these demonolators work with, that I don't agree with if you're new, but they're completely misunderstanding how powerful someone like Horus truly is. He's extremely powerful and extremely fast, by the way. There was many instances in spiritual battle, spiritual warfare experiences in the astral plane where I would be in danger and I wasn't aware of it, or there'd be times where I would be falling from a high level, like almost like a cliff. There was many instances like that, and he would be the first person or one of the few who would catch me in midair before anyone else because he's extremely fast. And there's a reason for that when it comes to his eye of Horus. He's very quick in sight. And if you're struggling with your third eye to be opened, Horus is the person to work with. Horus is very helpful. In fact, just by working with him, it has really amplified my ability to psychically see visions and also to astral project and see better, because there are times where I even struggle with that. And it's usually out of PTSD because I've seen so many horrific things that I don't want to see sometimes. And that's normal. And so Horus is a really great deity to work with and to trust when you are struggling with your third eye. He is absolutely benevolent, so he will help you with that, and you have nothing to worry about. He's very protective, and that's another wonderful quality about him. When I did get to meet him, I felt, like I said, the power of who he is as a person. And one of the best qualities about him is he's very protective of those that he is around. I also want to use the word hopeless romantic in a way. And what I mean by that is he does things that most men won't do on this planet. He will consider your feelings. He will talk to you. Now, again, I'm not saying men aren't like that here, but it's a different kind of expression. It's a different kind of speech. It's a different kind of interaction with females. And also he's wonderful in communicating with men in feeling their confidence and in their finding their inner strength and their inner light warrior, basically. I have been able to find my higher self better. And there's always these times where when I need to work on my inner strength, my goddess confidence, working with Horus in that way helps me with confidence in spiritual warfare. Archangel Michael, really helps me with this as well. And I really do appreciate him as well. But there is another special type of quality to Horus's capabilities and unique traits. And that's one of the things that you will definitely recognize the moment you meet him, because he will definitely exude this type of power and majestic majesty. He really is like a king. He's like a pharaoh. He's like a royal blood. You can really get that vibe from him. He's extremely loyal as well. And what I mean by loyal is if you ever feel like you need to rely on him in certain levels of instances or certain levels of comfort, even protection or in guidance, he will definitely be there. And he will also make sure that you have the right type of guides that will be there for you, that is the best for you in the moment. And I really appreciate that about him, because there are a lot of guides out there, deities that I have worked with, who had the best intentions, but they were not wise enough. And this is something that I really feel like in a lot of ways that really helped me as a YouTuber, as an influencer too, because this helped me to learn more about myself and how to feel more confident as a person who is influencing other people. That is definitely something that I will also give him credit for, because as I've grown more in myself as a woman, as a light warrior, as a goddess, this is something that I've learned and how to utilize in my everyday life. Now, if you're feeling drawn to him, there is a reason for this. What I learned personally was because I do have a very strong pull towards ancient Egypt. And this has been going on since I was a kid. I've always been fascinated with Egypt. I wanted to be an archaeologist in some cases. Like, I wanted to be able to go to Egypt and look at the tombs and all of those things and really see it for what it was and what it is. When you're drawn to this kind of history of ancient Egyptian, the reason why is because of the fact that you probably have a past life. And I say probably because I'm never going to sit here and say that's for certain, because I don't know your story. I don't know you, but I will say that is something that I did learn about myself, is that I did have a past life in Egypt. One of the things that you can also expect from Horus is astral projecting and seeing him. Now, this is something that he will only do, of course, if you're very experienced and you already know how to do this, but a lot of the times he will appear to you in a dream as well, or with sounds, or even with everyday life, with numbers, or more importantly, also with something of Egyptian that pops up, or something related to his name, whether it's his name, a movie, a song, or even a picture of a falcon, or a falcon flies by, because that is actually one of his symbols. In ancient Egyptian, the hieroglyphics that depict a falcon is Horus. Whenever you see a falcon, whether it's outside or in pictures or in commercials or in movies, and you didn't expect to see this and you're not searching for it, this is him giving you signs. Or if you have a dream of a falcon, or if a falcon just pops up at your house, at your window, it is absolutely Horus. When I work with a deity such as Horus, I don't feel comfortable, and this is going to sound really weird, I don't like to do my magic with the deities that I work with. I don't like to ask them for help, even though they offer to help all the time. I turn them down most of the time, and I'm very stubborn. That's me though. But does this mean that you can't work with them in your magic? No, you absolutely can receive their assistance, their benevolent, ethereal assistance in your magic. There was one instance with Horus that I still treasure. I always seem to go back to the first time when I saw him, and it was during a battle with a certain deity, and this was actually against Set. Now, some people fear Set. I don't fear Set. I don't fear Baphomet or Baphomet, however you say his name. I don't fear any of them. And there is definitely something that you will learn when you work with these deities, is you learn that fear is pointless when it comes to your level of growth in your spiritual benevolence of who you are, in your balance of who you are as a person. And I've learned over the time in my experience that embracing both my wrath and my kindness make me equally powerful, because in spiritual warfare, there is a level of wrath that you learn about, that you embrace of who you are. And Horus is wonderful in that area. But he also helps you to understand in spiritual warfare, in psychic protection, in shielding, in battle, in many different experiences. And again, this is for people who are actually more advanced in spiritual warfare, literal astral projection, astral battles. This is not something that is for everybody. Not everyone will experience this. This is probably be only a few hundred out of every single person that sees this video, depending on how many people watch it. I'm actually being very serious in this part because, and I'm getting very dizzy now, so he's definitely tapping into my frequency. Whenever I would be in battle, I learned how to compartmentalize my fear from my existence. Finding inner peace in yourself is what makes you the most powerful against evil. Now, this is not easy to do. Even in spiritual battles, this is very difficult. It takes many years of practice. If you're looking as a light warrior, as a person who is dealing with astral projection, if you're dealing with psychic attacks, if you're dealing with sleep paralysis, and you're trying to fight off malevolence that is pushing itself into your energy frequency and invading your energy, invading your home, invading your space, and you're trying to get rid of it, Horus is an absolute badass. He will do that for you. He's very, very witty. He's very fast. He's very sharp in those situations. Being in battle with him has helped me to find my inner confidence and my self-empowerment and my inner goddess. He's helped me in that way to feel safe in my energy, how to shield against powerful forces and how to utilize that energy towards banishing evil. And I've learned a lot of that from him. Every single entity or deity that you work with will give you a very special experience that will follow you wherever you go. And it will be something that you will always carry with you in your heart. And this is a part of that experience for me. If you ever call onto Horus, he is very particular about certain things, about how he presents himself, and you will never see him without gold. He will always have jewelry. He will always have beautiful fabrics on. He will always be basically dressed to the 10s. I don't know why people say the 9s, but you get my drift here. He definitely has a way of presenting himself because first impressions mean everything. He definitely has an amazing smell. He always smells like a certain type of cologne, but that doesn't mean that it will be something for everyone. It won't be your experience necessarily. He could smell like dragon's blood. He could smell like Palo Santo. I know that he likes Palo Santo. He may also smell like sandalwood. This is what I'm hearing from him. You don't need to do anything grand or specific to summon him. All you have to do is just ask and he will appear. He's very simple. He doesn't expect a whole lot from people. He doesn't have high expectations. He doesn't expect so much from other people in a way where he wants you to feel intimidated. That's not his energy. He always wants you to feel comfortable and safe in his vibration. He's very, very empathetic. He really cares about people and he cares about who they are as a person. He really cares about people. The thing that I remember specifically in one point when I first met Horus is he asked me, what my name was, who am I? You really do have to always be on guard when you meet a new deity, especially if it's someone like Horus. And what I mean by that is you don't know if it could be Horus. It could be an evil spirit pretending to be Horus. So it is very important that you still test the spirit, that you still ask them certain questions. He's not the type of spirit, not the type of deity to encourage cursing other people. He doesn't encourage this. And I'm sure I'm going to get people disagreeing with this statement, but whenever I was tempted to curse someone, he always encouraged me not to do it. And he would tell me why. There are so many things about the energies and about karma that we very little understand. In order to get the best revenge is to live your best life. And this is something that I learned from him. And I also learned from other deities like him. When he is around and you give him permission and you ask him to be around, he will be extremely present in your day-to-day activities. I really wanted an excuse to talk about Horus. He's been there in so many ways and he's helped me through a lot of things. And there's a lot of love there. And that's one of the things that you will learn about Horus is he never raises his voice to a woman. He's very particular about that. He really believes in respecting women and also checking his own ego and also making sure that he remains humble in those energies. He's not perfect. No deity is. But I will say from my experience of working with Horus and also getting to know him as a deity, just as a person, that bond that you develop with them is something that you will always keep to your heart. I've actually learned how to feel more safe because of him when I go out in public, when I go anywhere anywhere, I usually call on to him or other deities that I trust. But when it comes to like physical protection, I absolutely do trust Horus in a big way. If ever you're in a situation where there is someone who is physically aggressive, or you feel like you need to ask for protection from a person or from a situation, Horus is definitely one of those deities that I absolutely trust, because he knows how to manipulate people's third eye, also alter the way that they talk to you and the way that they basically will calm down and make them basically back off. A very powerful tool that he knows how to do. I really appreciate his ability to do this, because there were actually instances where I had a guy in particular, he actually tried to force himself on me. It was just about a year ago, kept pushing himself on me physically to the point where he was even throwing money at me like I was a fucking stripper, which I never was, never have been, won't be. It was really uncomfortable and it made me feel very unsafe. This person was very physically aggressive and he kept trying to basically encourage me to have sex with him, and I kept telling him no, and he kept throwing money at me, and I told him, you can't afford me because I'm not going to sleep with you. It doesn't work like that. I guess it was hard for this guy to be turned down, because apparently, from what I understood, I guess he had prostitutes all the time. It was very disrespectful. And so in that moment, Horus was able to force this person to back off of me, but I also felt more safer in my energy. And there was something about how this person could not cross my barrier. And it was very, very powerful, and I could feel the energy. And so if you ever feel like your physical safety is being threatened, calling on to Horus would be someone of a number one thought, along with some other deities that I've listed in my channel as well. There is one other thing that some people feel is kind of a warning about him, and I want to add this last piece, and this is very important. Some people say, and they speculate and even will announce on their websites about Horus, that you got to be careful with working with Horus because he possesses people. He doesn't possess people, he doesn't take over your body, but he does like to tap into your third eye into a way so that way he can be more present within your energy frequency. And he is very powerful. And so if that makes you uncomfortable and you're not comfortable with that concept or that idea, and you're very new to something like this, just be honest with him. Just tell him, I'm not okay with that. Is that okay? He will be totally down with that. I'm going to leave it here. There's a lot of other things that I would love to say, but if I keep talking about Horus, I will never stop talking, because he is lovely and he's wonderful. You will not regret working with him or getting to know him. There are so many good, positive qualities about him. I'm very protective of him in a way, because I don't like it when people say negative things about him. He doesn't align himself with demons or devils or any negative energy like that, or in any connection to hell. A lot of people confuse him with Set, and Set was actually his evil brother, is his evil brother. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you want to learn more about protecting yourself from evil spirits, you can also look at my website at lastfrontiermedium.com. Also by Amazon, where you can get my books, where I teach about how to protect yourself from evil spirits and how to bring your energy frequency to a level of shielding and protection, and how to also utilize that energy in a way in spiritual battle. I hope this gives you some insight on Horus. I can't say it enough. He's wonderful. Thank you again so much for being a part of this channel, and thank you for subscribing if you're new. I love you guys so much. Bye guys.